Alright guys, so in the previous video I showed you how to add Autobidder to your Wix website. In this video I'm going to show you how to add Autobidder to a Godaddy based website. Now I will say the Godaddy based website is fairly limited to some of the other website builders on the market, such as WordPress and even Wix. As I mentioned in the other video, I'm not a huge fan of Wix, but I would, if I had to choose between Wix and Godaddy, personally I would go with Wix because it does give you more flexibility and control, although it is a little bit harder to use. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to use it, you should probably try to get comfortable with the design. But this video is not about design; it's about Autobidder. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So there's a couple different ways you could do it. In the first example, I'll just show you adding Autobidder to your home page, and then I'll just show you briefly how you could add it with another page. So all you're going to want to do essentially is click Add Section, and then it's going to open this little sub menu here, and then you're just going to want to type in HTML. Go ahead and add that. Now, I will say this is a little bit more complicated than the Wix version, and it's more limited. But that's kind of the trade-off. It's easier to use, but it's also more limited, so you don't have as much freedom or control. So let me move the bubble up here so you can see. We have this. When we click on this, it opens up this option for a custom code. So we're going to go back to Autobidder. We're going to copy this embed code right here, and then we're going to come back to GoDaddy. We're going to paste that code in right here. Now, we do need to make a couple adjustments on GoDaddy. As I said, this is where it's limited. So you'll notice right here where it says height, it's currently at 100%. You're going to want to highlight that, and I would set it to 900 pixels. So that's going to stretch out the height. And then what right here, I would do the same thing. I would say forced height 900, because what GoDaddy is going to want to do is it's going to want it to make it as small as possible right out of the gate. So if we put it at 100%, it's not really going to be usable. So with GoDaddy, again, that's kind of the problem with GoDaddy. It's a little bit, less flexible, let's say. So we put up to 900. And another problem with GoDaddy, as you can see, it's going to put these bars here. There's not much you can do about that to prevent that. Again, all the things I just mentioned about it being limited, this is a better example. But with that being said, what I want to do is just go ahead and test it here. We'll go ahead and click preview. And first we'll preview it on desktop, and then we'll look at it on mobile. So of course this is kind of zoom. It would actually be full screen. So this is like we're seeing like a smaller version, but you still get the purpose. So let's say we want house washing, roof cleaning. Let's say our house is 1,500 square feet. It's 2 stories. We want the full house wash. And then let's say the roof is shingle, and we've got a little test thing in here just for testing purposes. Now let's go ahead and enter our name, our phone number, and just enter a random thing for the test. And now this is what we're seeing here. Now, of course, these prices are kind of wacky because we're testing it. So, but we're not testing the prices. We're testing the functionality on the site. So, as you can see here, it seems to be working quite well. I mean, I don't like the design of it though because of the bar. That's not a huge deal. It's not like a deal breaker necessarily in terms of design, because a lot of customers aren't going to notice it. But for me, with the design mindset, I'm not a huge fan of that, which is why I'm not a huge fan of GoDaddy. But GoDaddy is one of those website builders that you use when you're just getting started, anyways. Until you can afford to get like a really nice website, you're probably going to start with something like GoDaddy or Wix. That's what a lot of people do, you know. But now let's just check the booking part. Let's just say 8 a.m. All right, cool. So that's working now. I just like to test it on mobile. So let's go back to the site editor. And I honestly don't really use um, GoDaddy that much myself, so I have to play around with it a little bit to figure out how to edit on mobile. Um, but I would say if you currently have a website on GoDaddy, I would probably recommend creating one on Wix if you're dead set on doing it yourself. You don't want to pay somebody. So now the other way I was showing you, let's just go ahead and create a new page, and we'll just click create page. And this would be if we wanted to have a dedicated page for Autobidder. So let's go ahead and add HTML again. I'll go ahead and click add. That'll drop in. We'll do the same thing we did previously. We'll paste that code in. We'll change the height from 100% to 900, which is going to make it 900 pixels. And then we'll do the same thing here for force height. And then that is pretty much it. Now what we would want to do for this is go back to the home page, and I would maybe connect a button, let's say right here. Again, I'm not super familiar with GoDaddy because I don't use it, and it seems like it may have changed a little bit, but let's see if we can figure this out here. Okay, it looks like they do it this way. Action button, that button's called online classes, so I would just want to call this instant bid or something like that. And then we're going to want to link this page to, let's see here, that blank page that we created, and top of page, or we can just send it to the HTML, that's fine. All right, and then I also want to check it on mobile, but let's go ahead and preview this. So now if somebody comes to your site, they click instant bid, boom, it takes them right here to Autobidder. Right, boom, where they can fill out their information. You can design around this whatever you want. You can make this design look literally however you want at this point. But that's pretty much the gist on how to add it to. Now let's check it on mobile. Okay, it doesn't look too bad on mobile. I probably want to stretch it out a little bit, but again, that's the problem with using a. GoDaddy website, is that you don't have that much control over the design. So if you don't like the way something's designed, you're kind of stuck with it. So anyways, that's it, guys. If you're using GoDaddy and using Autobidder, that's how you can add it. So thanks. Have a great day.